How's it going, everybody? A short while from now, I will be leaving on my flight for my vacation. My vacation. A vacation. A well-needed vacation. Yep. Vacation. All right, so today we're going to get started working on yet another dead MacBook. This MacBook was left for me by Anel with a note that says, "Fun random stream, please." He tried to get this machine to have 20 volts when you plug in a charger, and it's stuck at 5 volts. We're going to try to figure out this board. And if we can't figure it out, let's just say that if we can't figure it out, Anel will no longer be with us. And trust that when I say that with a 1500 volt racket in my hands, I don't mean in the unemployment way. Let's get started. So, on this MacBook, when we plug in a USB-C charger, what speaker setup would you recommend for music listening? Find yourself a used set of Vandersteins and get some acoustic panels. It'll make you happy. We're going to plug this in, and we plug it in. It takes nothing. Hope you have a great vacation away from MacBooks. Thank you, Tim. We plug it in. It looks like, Oh, you're very finicky today, aren't you? Is my USB-C amp meter deciding it's on its way out? Do you not want to be plugged into Apple products anymore? Yeah, I don't want to be plugged into Apple products anymore either, little USB amp meter. So it appears that this is taking 20 milliamps at 5 volts. This is not going to get us anywhere. Now, as you all know, if you've been watching this channel, and if you would know if you don't watch this channel regularly, but go over to my 20 volts instead of 5 volts instead of 20 volt playlist on boards.rossmangroup.com, a site that I'm going to be shilling more often. That's boards.rossmangroup.com. Boards.rossmangroup.com. You can go to repair videos by problem. But wait, there's more. You can go here, and it'll say USB-C outputting 5 volts instead of 20 volts. And then you can see a list of 13 videos where I solve that exact issue on a MacBook and explain why it is. But I digress. We are getting 5 volts instead of 20. Now, the first thing that we need to have present is PP3V3_G3 hot. These two chips are going to want to speak to the charger and say, "I'm a MacBook. I'm special. I don't want 5 volts or 9 volts or 12 volts. I want 20 volts." And then the charger's going to say, "Yes, little MacBook. I'll give you 20 volts. Please don't yell at me." So what we're going to do now is check PP3V3_G3 hot. We're going to get it on the screen using Paul Daniels' multimeter software. We're going to get it on the screen. Get it on the screen using Paul Daniels' multimeter software. Now, Anel said that he did have PP3V3_G3 hot on this machine. However, from my measurements here, it appears that we have 0 volts on PP3V3, not 3.3 volts on PP3V3. Can you hear that, Anel? That's the sound of 1500 volts hitting you straight in the face. We don't believe in write-ups at Rossman Repair. We just go straight to the electrical. Now, let's open up a schematic and a board view for this board so we can figure out what's going on with it. Okay, so this is an 820-00840. Now, as I said, the charger is not going to put out 20 volts until the two USB-C mux chips speak to it. So, On the older MacBook, in order to get a green or orange light in the charger, the charger would have to speak to the system management controller. On here, there's no green light. However, it's the same general concept. 5 volts on this little USB-C amp meter. When the USB-C charger is putting out 5 volts, that's the equivalent of no green light. And when it's putting out 20 volts, that's the equivalent of green or orange light on the MagSafe. And just like on the older machines, the charger would have to talk to the SMC. On here, the charger needs to speak to the USB-C MUX chips. And on the older machines, the SMC would be powered by PP3V4 2_G3hot. On this machine, the USB-C MUX chips are powered by PP3V3 G3hot, very similar to PP3V4 2_G3hot. Same principle. Now, these two USB-C MUX chips speak to the charger on a data line that I'll show you right here. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to find that data line so that I could show it to you, because you probably don't believe me. Now, see this over here? USB-C charger, USB-C MUX chip, USB-C charger, USB-C MUX chip. See, they talk, they speak. USB-C charger, USB-C MUX chip. They say, hi, please react to this video. You put it on, I can't click that. I have no way of clicking that. It's going to be off the screen before I can remember the number. So I'm not even going to have time to type down that YouTube number, unfortunately. FHWTJTOWZ4A. Okay, I just got it. Let's see. What is that video? Crazy Mac haters destroy a MacBook Pro 15-inch. I'm guessing this is what you're referring to. This is fairly boring. Here you have two people throwing a MacBook back and forth, and then throw it down the stairs. And now they're going, ooh, at the camera, like basic bitches. This is a very basic bitch thing to do. Basic bitch is not a term that's simply used to describe females. You can describe males as a basic bitch as well. Here's an example of being a basic bitch. That, and that. I'm sorry, this does nothing for me. It's likely not what you were looking for. It's likely not the response that you wanted. But unfortunately, I can't give you the response that you want, because I imagine you want me to be excited about it. But I can't. It's just, it's basicness. It's basicness at the lowest level. Now, let's go back to the schematic and the board view and work on something serious. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty boring. I figured it was going to be something silly, and yeah, it was. Anyway, the USB-C MUX is going to speak to it like that, and in order for this chip to get power into it, it needs to get its power on the PP3V3 G3hot pin. See this? See where it says VN 3v3? VN 3v3. And you also have, there's one other line here. R3000. So R3000 is going to be the bridge between PP3v3 and this chip. Now, as you noticed, when I tried to measure for PP3v3 underscore G3hot, it wasn't there. So let's just confirm that it's not being there. Thanks for not being a basic bitch, says Ryan. Why, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. I do a lot of work every day to avoid becoming a basic bitch. And I'm glad that to your standards, I've managed to live up to that ideal. I would never want to be a basic bitch. Now, let's take a look. The first thing I notice on the CD3215 that Anel replaced is there's a resistor next to it that seems to have something scraped off of it. Right here. Why, Anel? Why? Anyway, We'll take a look at that later. Have a small. I hope you have a great vacation. Here's a small token of appreciation. F Apple. Thank you, Igor. So PP3v3 is now magically back to 3.4, even though it wasn't showing up before. And when I check the coil it's on, it's there as well. So PP3v3 decided to magically show up again. Yay! 3.4. 3.4. All right. Now what's this little resistor here for? Okay, so it looks like the resistor that's nasty is a resistor that goes to ground. Pull down resistor, not a big deal. You're not soldered. You're not soldered. Wonder what that's for. Are you for something important? SMC USB-C int _L R5322. All right, what are you for, little R5322? Oh, wow, you're for a data line that allows the SMC to speak to the USB-C controllers. Now, that's supposed to be a 10 kilo ohm resistor, so we're going to unplug the power to the board so that we can measure resistance at that point. The resistor itself is fine. Here's my free premium YouTube super chat. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate that. Okay, so that resistor is good. The thing is, it doesn't look like it's soldered onto the motherboard. So where you can add a little bit of flux, take it off. I want to make sure that the underside of that resistor is good, because even if the top side of it is making contact, the underside could have actually been entirely corroded away. What's your best tip when it comes to learning how to solder to do it as part of my university course? The best tip is to get practice and to not give up when you fail, because you're going to fail a lot in the beginning. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit at the desk and say, I'm an expert at this. I'm good at this. I'm an engineer who solders. I fix shit. Seriously, a big part of this is actually identity. So identity is everything when it comes to learning how to do this stuff. So when I first sat down and I was trying to work on this, and anything related to the consoles at Avatar, I sat down. I didn't tell myself, yeah, I'm a 17-year-old kid, but I'm an intern, so I probably can learn, right? Oh, this is my first time. I'm going to script. No, I told myself, I am Ricky Began. I fixed the knee VRP switches in 45 minutes when it takes everybody else 6 hours. My solder joints are perfect. I don't rip a single pad on the SSL J9000. Give me my desoldering gun, give me my solder, and let's get to work. Now, obviously, I'm not fucking Ricky Began. Ricky Began had 30 years of experience and was a goddamn genius. And I was a 17-year-old intern who was immature, inexperienced, and a fool. And I knew that deep down in my head. But in the part of my head that mattered to give me confidence, I told myself that's what I am. Or even just a week or two ago, I changed my bike tire for the first time ever. So I've never successfully changed a bike tire in my life. I enjoy riding my bike. I enjoy having my e-bike. I have rode a bike since I was probably 6 years old. Before that, I had a tricycle. And, I rode my bike every single day. And when I got a flat tire, I didn't grow up in an environment where it was okay for me to take stuff apart. My mother wanted to keep everybody in, nobody could touch hardware. Nobody could mess with tools or anything like that. Nobody could use her kitchen. It was kind of like that. So when I grew up, I had the opportunity to try and replace my own tire. And every time I do it, I'd screw it up. Every single time I tried, even if there was somebody helping and guiding me. And the other day, I decided I sat down and I told myself, I'm a bike mechanic. I'm a mechanic. I am a mechanic. And I sat there and I put on my video on how to replace it. And obviously, if I was a mechanic, I wouldn't be watching a fucking video on how to replace a bike tire. And then when I got confused about something, I said, nope, I'm a mechanic. We're going to get this. And then I switch over to the next one, the next video, and the next video. And then I figured, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to push really hard here or if I'm supposed to stop if it's not going in. I'm not sure, do I stop or, at any of those little points where you're trying to, let's say open a new device and you go, oh, this isn't coming off. Am I supposed to pull harder or does that mean I didn't use enough heat when I was removing the adhesive? Any of those moments, I just tell myself, no, I am a mechanic. I'm going to do that. And then I learn. Now, the thing is, obviously, I'm going to fuck something up on the first try. And with most of the first things that I try to do something on, I do screw it up miserably, which is why I think it's not very good to experiment on other people's stuff, at least if you're like me and you screw things up for the first time. But I told myself, I'm a mechanic. No, I know that I can just push harder at this point because I am a mechanic. And I did. And it worked. I don't know. I think you just have to have that as part of your identity. Even when I started doing this, I didn't tell myself, I'm just some guy that had some internship at some recording studio that learned how to work on 50-year-old stuff, that dropped out of college because he couldn't pass chemistry, that never made it to electronics engineering, that's not an engineer, that has a shaky hand, but I think I can learn, right? I'm sure I could learn. Given some time, I think. Like, really? Maybe like a couple of weeks, I'll watch a guy. No, fuck that. I just sat down and I said, I am a master technician. I fix boards. I make boards work again. And I remember one time I took a QFN package off of a board. I soldered it back on. The board didn't even fucking work. It didn't even work. It worked before I did that. It didn't work after I did that. But just the fact that I took the chip off and I put it back on, I told myself, I'm a technician. I am a master technician. I left the store, got myself dinner, got myself a drink, came back, smiled. You know, obviously, in the depths of my mind, I realized at this point in time, I am not good enough at this to offer it to a customer. But the part of my brain that was rational was kind of separated from the part of my brain that's giving myself a pat in the back. So I feel like I'm good enough at it so that I actually have the confidence to sit down and learn it. Because one of the biggest issues when you're trying to learn anything new is the lack of confidence that you have from not having done it right before. So you just have to sit down and embrace the ridiculousness of having positivity about shit that you have not done before. And it's the same thing with, with weightlifting. I don't tell myself when I'm at the gym. I go to a gym that where 99% of the people there have biceps that are larger than my legs. It's just like it's ridiculous. The people, there's every single day that I go there and I go to work out, there's a dude in front of me doing 600 pounds on deadlifts for reps and not doing that shit where he's bouncing off the floor or using a bunch of belts. And he's like my size too. It's just normal at the gym that I go to. Everybody there is just, I'm just gonna take your squat rate and use it for my overhead press. Yawn. It's I don't go to that gym telling myself, I'm 5'6" and I have crappy genetics and I was always the lightest kid in my class and I was 103 pounds as a senior in high school. But I watched a couple of videos and I have a trainer, so I think I can kind of learn weightlifting, right? No, I go there and I tell myself I'm a fucking bodybuilder. I am a power lifter. Let's do this. And I may get it wrong, and my trainer looks at me and goes, that's not even fucking close to the right form, you fucking idiot. Let me show you how to do it properly. But I don't tell myself, no, I'm a fucking idiot. No, I tell myself, well, I got that one thing wrong, but I'm still a power lifter. Now, obviously, I'm not going to any fucking powerlifting competitions. The rational side of my brain knows that I am not going to any goddamn powerlifting competitions. My weight goes between 150 to 170 F5, and my body weight fluctuates between that, and I've never bench pressed over 270 pounds in my life. But that doesn't matter. When I'm sitting there, when I'm trying to learn, when I'm trying to get better, when I'm trying to do something, I make sure that I identify as the most positive or the highest up position on the ladder. And it allows my brain to get into a place where I can learn. Whereas if I just tell myself, well, I'm a beginner, but I think I can kind of learn, right? I'm just gonna like watch a few videos and have a guide and maybe read up a little bit on it and I'll try for 20 minutes. Like, no, fuck that. I am a master solderer. And then you sit down and you work and you fuck something up and you tell yourself, you know what? That was a fluke. I just didn't know this little thing, but I'm still a master solderer. Oh, I just didn't know what flux is, but I'm still a master solderer. Now, the important thing here is to not let, how they have a blood-brain barrier? You can't let this pass into the ego barrier. You can't let this false bravado cross into the rational part of your brain. You can't walk out there into the world and tell yourself you're a power lifter and then get into a fight with some 6'8", 350-pound dude that knows Brazilian jiu-jitsu at a bar that sprint runs every night. Like, no, don't do that. Don't let that cross over into the rational part of your brain. But you let that part of your brain that needs confidence in order to feel like you can actually do something, you let that part, you work that part of your brain up as much as you want. Again, as long as it doesn't cross over into the other side of your brain, you're good. Once it starts crossing over into the other side of your brain, you're fucked. Like, I realize that I'm an idiot. I realize that I am stupid. I realize that I learn in a different manner than how everybody else learns, so that even for the most basic, simple shit that I fail where others don't fail. I took a CPR AED course about 13 years ago when I was trying to make more than minimum wage, because back then a lifeguard made $8 an hour. Resimo Dill Sporting Goods Associate made $6. And I was looking to get on that gravy train of that $8 an hour instead of that $6 an hour. So I decided to try to get my, I don't know if it was a license or a certification, whatever the fuck it was. It was a long time ago. I tried to get something in CPR AED because you need that in order to take the test to become a lifeguard. And there was somebody in my class who was retarded. And when I say that, I don't mean it as an insult. I mean, like whatever the clinical definition of it is of being mentally impaired. And the person that was in my class that was retarded was able to not kill the doll. I killed the doll. I could not get to a point where I didn't kill the doll by the end of the week. I retook the course with a different instructor. The same thing happened. And I hate when Android phones do that. It just gives me 20 notifications all at once. I killed the doll over and over and over again. And the second instructor that I went to actually told me, do not do this. Do not pursue this. Don't take this again. You will harm people. You will kill people if you try to do this. Don't do this. And I'm actually, it was crushing at the time. I'm actually kind of happy with it. Would I rather do what I'm doing now, or would I rather sit by a pool watching old people swim laps back and forth and reek of chlorine at the end of the day? But the point is, I realize that I learn in a different way than other people. I realize that I'm dumb. I realize that I'm not in shape. I realize that I'm behind. I realize that I was not good in school. I realize that I'm not great intellectually. I realize that when it comes to precision movements with my hands, that if I try to hold my tweezers steady, I solder with this. And the thing is, I don't care. I let that other side of my brain say, you're a master technician. You're a fucking surgeon with those hands. You're a genius. It's the only way I can actually learn something new. So if you're looking to learn something new, just the first thing you do is you sit down at the desk, you say, I'm a fucking master solderer. And then you go, okay, master solderers every now and then just may need to look up a YouTube video that's titled How to Solder before they get started. But that doesn't mean I'm not a master solderer. And then you sit down and you get to work. But that level of BAM confidence, that is what is going to allow you to get ahead. And when I was doing the teaching from 2015 to 2018, before I decided I did not want to teach anymore, that's what I noticed in the students that I had. The people that showed up, even if they showed up and they did not know, they were fucking clueless as to how this entire industry works, even if they showed up as assistant managers of a fucking pizzeria, they could, if they showed up and they had that attitude yeah, I'm going to do this, and they were willing to put in the work and willing to learn and willing to not let their ego go so high that they wouldn't be willing to take other people's advice, or they wouldn't be willing to take in information from other sources. As long as they were willing to learn and they sat down and they had that confidence, they figured it out. But the people that said, oh crap, I'm not really good at this, but I think I can try, you're not getting anywhere. Anyway, that's a long-winded answer to your question. But let's fix the resistor that Anel didn't put on the fucking board. Okay. Can you fix my MacBook Pro? No, we don't do that. We just pretend to on the internet. Greetings from Brazil. Thank you for inspiring and teaching me to learn and capitalize in this area, here in this effing communist country. I'm not sure how Brazil is. I know Tiago Baracho does what you do in Brazil. He was a member of the Chipmasters Forum. I actually got to meet him in person. Pretty nice guy. It's good to know that there's another person in Brazil doing this type of work. And I wish you the best of luck with it, my friend. Okay, so let's see what the bottom of this resistor looks like. Dunning-Kruger effect used positively. Yes. Again, the thing with the Dunning-Kruger effect, though, is that with Dunning-Kruger, those individuals actually believe their own bullshit. So when they say, I am a master surgeon, the Dunning-Kruger person is actually going to go out there and try to do surgery on somebody without ever having had medical training. I'm not saying go that far. Again, you don't let it cross the barrier. You got the blood-brain barrier, and then you've got the ego bullshit barrier. Okay. Let's put this resistor back on the board, and if this works after that, I will let the chat decide what happens to an L. What does constant 0.01 amps when charger is plugged in without powering on mean? You have not told me what brand you have, what type of device you have, what model you have, the history of it. So I will say that it means, I will give you as much information as you've given me. What that means is that there's a problem and that you need to fix it. There's a problem, and I think you need to fix it. I don't listen to Bill de Blasio's speeches because it makes me sick that he's a politician in a place that I live. For the individual who asked. Okay, let's see. We're going to wait for this to dry off. Not dry off. We're going to wait for this to cool down via the rapid cool system. Are you still looking for an editor? I have Hi-Hi, but Hi-Hi is not coming to work this week because he has finals. I also haven't tested his skill as an editor yet. Blat. Still 20 milliamps. Blat. Oh, FB. Okay. What else can it be? Mm-hmm. 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 Don't care about you, don't care about you, don't care about you. Maybe kind of sort of care about you? $1.78. Thank you very much, Richard Morgan. I very much appreciate that, and I will do my best to have an actual break. 3.4 there, 3.4 on here. Are you supposed to be no stuff down here? That doesn't matter. Yeah, I think this doesn't matter. All right. Bad CD3215s, perhaps? Well, let's see. What's that data line doing? .4 on this side, 0 on this side. So why is my data line stuck down? What's up with you, my little data line? SMC, USB-C, int L, R5322. Oh, you're not a data line, you're just a signal. SDA and SDC over here are the signal. So what does this do? Int L. So how does my E5000 look? Let's take a look at my SMC. I wish I had a working board out so that I could measure what that signal is supposed to be. Suggesting to someone starting phone repairs. That's too vague. Saying suggestion to somebody who's fixing computer. That guy, I have no idea. Make money. Fix what people want fixed. Find out where you can offer a better service, price, or turnaround from somebody else, and go from there. Yeah, so figure out where you can offer a better price or turnaround or quality from somebody else, and offer that. Don't try to be the jack of all trades. Start off with something that's popular. Find a device that has a very popular normal issue where everybody else in your area is either charging too much, too slow, or too incompetent, and go from there. Okay, let's see. Is that possible? Yes, but if you want your machine to work again and you don't have experience, then probably not a good idea. The person who asked. Yeah, so this is not shorted to ground, so the SMC or the CD3215s are telling that to be low. Interesting. Given this lack of damage, it has to be a CD3215 or an SMC. Alright. Yeah, so yeah, what you want to avoid doing is what most people do, which is just say, I am going to fix phones, therefore I'm going to do everything people ask. When you start out, you really want to approach it by, what can I do that will, what can I do where I'm actually a better option than everybody else out there already? And focus on that. You want to focus on what you're better at than the competition. Like in the beginning, I did not do everything. I found a couple of machines, a couple of models, and one specific issue, and I realized that everybody else had a 1 week long turnaround time, and bought a used part and charged a lot of money and lied to the customer about the details of it. Wow, I just fucked that up big time. I'm trying to read chat this is why I don't read chat while I'm fixing things. I was looking in my peripheral vision to see everybody's replies. And chat is my scapegoat for my stupidity. I rip a bunch of shit off a board, I blame you. That's right, folks. I blame you. Dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. But I'm not gonna play with it, 'cause dreidels. South Park. Oh, Cartman. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. But I'm not gonna play with it, 'cause dreidels. Something you can't say on YouTube in 2019. Dreidel, seitan, tofu, or jackfruit. I'm definitely not a fan of meat substitutes. The thing that I don't like is when they try to emulate meat, so they wind up adding fillers and all sorts of other horseshit to it, and it winds up becoming a fucking science experiment. I try to lay off the soy, so I'm not into tofu much. Seitan, I believe, I could be mistaken, so please correct me if I am. Dietary stuff is not my forte, but I believe that is made of wheat gluten or something like that. And I'm not one of those, like everything must be gluten-free or I won't eat it lunatics. It's just there's something about wheat gluten that in food where immediately it's kind of filling and kind of nice, but in the long term, it just kind of fucks up everything for me. Like it's very bloating. When I eating wheat gluten, I feel like I have eaten a giant piece of rubber. So I try to avoid eating wheat gluten stuff like seitan, and I'm not a big fan of the soy stuff, so I try to stay away from the tofu. But yeah, in general, like, when they do vegan cheese, oh my god, vegan cheese. If there's a reason to hate vegans, it's they've been fucking raping and destroying cheese. Like, it sucks. And the thing is, there's so much good shit that you can eat as a vegan, but they harp on getting you to eat the stuff that either A, tastes like trash, or B, tries to emulate meat and sometimes succeeds, sometimes doesn't, but pumps you full of a bunch of shit that's probably worse than any of the crap you were getting at McDonald's to begin with. Yeah. This is the part that used to kill me, because when I was a kid, the way that everybody put it was, you're either going to enjoy what you eat, or you're going to hate it but it's healthy, or you're going to enjoy it but it's bad for you. But nobody ever told me that you could get food that not only tasted good, but was good for you. That's one of them secrets that they don't tell you, that you have to figure out as an adult. Or like when they tell you that bullshit, high school is going to be the best years of your life. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow, how pathetic is your fucking life that you think high school is the best of it? Damn, I feel sorry for you. Just one of the many lies. Yeah, if you go to my burrito place and you eat the thing that I get with the sauce that I put on it, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. You won't want any of that horseshit meat substitute gluten rubbery crap. And oh man, the vegan cheese is just. There's one of the issues with vegan cheese is there's no standard to it. It's a science experiment that has not been completed yet. Wherever you go and you get vegan cheese, there's a different mixture of whatever the fuck they use to make that shit. It's always disgusting and nothing like actual cheese. I'm not a big cheese fan to begin with. I never understood the obsession with cheese. I think it's an addiction. I think whatever the hell they put in that shit so that the little cows, like the Stay by the Mom, kind of winds up fucking with people because it doesn't taste good. It doesn't have a high nutritional value, yet people just suck the dick of cheese so much and go on as if it's the most amazing thing on earth. And I would ask you why. Is it the nutritional value? No. Is it the taste? Not really. It's something else. But yeah, the fucking vegan cheese is awful. I'd sooner eat my goddamn flux. I would sooner eat my flux. Disgusting trash. The people who say that high school are the best years of your life are the cheerleaders, the Teresas, the hot kids. It's all downhill for them. Alright, so that capacitor that I blew out of place, we're going to try to blow back into place. Actually, we're going to use the big boy nozzle for this. We're going to go for 2 chips at the same time. Are you all ready for 2 chips at the same time, my friends? I gotta let this thing cool off so I can get my nozzle on. Okay. We're going to flow 2 chips at the same time. Are you all ready for this? Are you ready for what it's like to flow 2 chips at the same time? Now, as we do this, those capacitors and resistors that moved a little are going to get flown back into place. It's going to be beautiful. I think it's time for Kel Comet to be banned. Not just banned, but beaten with a 1500 volt racket. What does the Twitch chat think? Oh, no. No, no. Two chips at the same time is not happening today, is it? I don't got it in me. Let's see. How much have I fucked up these chip sizes, actually? I probably should not be doing 2 chips at the same time today. I am not in the mood for it. Okay, I haven't even melted a single ball. Damn. So I'm seeing them as not flat when they actually are. I'm seeing these 2 chips as being, like curved when they're not. The same way that people in Australia see the Earth as curved when it's actually flat. Now we're going to try this again. 2 chips at the same time or death. We're going to make this work, baby. I hate mayonnaise, Blur. Thank you for the $5. That is highly appreciated. I definitely don't deserve $5. I can't even flow 2 chips at the same time. No. No. Stop that. Stop running away, bastard. You stay. I did this once. I know I've done this before. I've completely lost my skill. I feel like a superpower has been taken away from me, honestly. This was happening to me the other day, too, with BGA. I genuinely feel like I've lost a superpower. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, that is awful. I'm puking right now at how bad this is. This is disgusting. This is... Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my... Oh. Oh, this is fucking pathetic. Hello, capacitor. Separate from each other. Separate, you bastards. That was disgusting. This is going right back to an L status tomorrow. That's where this is going. Life's not fair. I do feel bad for an L. I don't think he deserves this in his queue. He really doesn't, but he's getting it. Life is not fucking fair, man. I'm not that bad, Market Zero. Be nice. That hurt. That actually hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm gonna cry all the way on the plane now. Whole plane ride. Yeah, this is time. This is vacation time. I think my hands are already on vacation. I'm likely going to have Paul look this one over if I'm not able to get it, because I'm not feeling at my best tonight. And I don't think this customer deserves this level of focus. So after this is done, we will put this in the Paul queue, where it belongs, with the rest of the Paul queue. Yeah, this is just not. Yeah, I'm not getting it tonight. Man. Lewis is going on vacation the moment this board is fixed, and not a second sooner. Who gets to care for Mr. Clinton and Blackberry while you're away? I actually managed to rope my personal trainer into that because we live nearby. He lives nearby me. Yeah. Some little Blackberry and Mr. Clinton are in good hands. And with any luck, when I come back, Mr. Clinton is less of a fat ass. But we'll see. Yes, Dean. This depends on your definition of celebrity as well. Excuse me. My guess is SMC. SMC issue. Rage quit. I should have left you when I was on a high note. Yeah, alright. We're gonna leave this one for Paul. We're gonna leave this one for Paul. For Paul. For Paul. Paul. He'll be happy with it. Paul likes getting machines where somebody else did most of the work already. It'll be easier now. Sayonara.